an island-wide railway network was a key objective during the Japanese colonial period. After the Western Trunk Line's completion in 1908, the Japanese began construction on the Eastern Railway. However, progress on the Taichung Line faced setbacks, and severe cargo backlogs on the Western Mountain Line were hampering Japan's expansion efforts. The Railway Department deemed the coastal line more urgent, deciding to prioritize its construction. In 1919, construction offices were established in Rinan and Taichung to oversee the coastal line project. After the initial planning of the Western Trunk Line, the steep terrain of the original mountain line made transportation challenging and limited its freight capacity. With the outbreak of World War I in 1914, Japan's need for resources grew as it aimed to expand its influence, increasing demand for materials from Taiwan. Due to the sharp rise in sea freight costs, goods produced in Taiwan, such as tea, camphor, and sugar, which were previously transported by sea along the island's coast, were redirected to the railway for north-south transport, then exported through ports to Japan or other Japanese military outposts. However, the mountain line's limited freight capacity led to severe logistical issues, with goods piling up in warehouses and at train stations, unprotected from the weather as they awaited transport. The number of southbound and northbound trains could not be increased to accommodate the demand, causing significant export delays. This situation culminated in the large-scale cargo backlog incident of 1917. To address the freight transport limitations of the mountain line, the Railway Department not only purchased additional vehicles but also began construction of the coastal line in 1919. Work progressed simultaneously from both Zhunan and Zhonghua, and the line was completed and opened in October 1922, with the opening ceremony held at Tongshao Station. The coastal line replaced the mountain line as the main route of the Western Trunk Line. When the plan shifted to make the coastal line the primary route, it sparked protests from Taichung residents, who hoped the railway junction would be located in Taichung. However, the Railway Department adhered to its original plan, setting the junction in Zhonghua. Following the completion of the coastal line, most long-distance trains took this faster route, with only a few trains continuing to operate on the mountain line. The coastal line from Zhunan to Zhonghua included 18 stations and spanned 91.2 kilometers. After World War I, rising prices and wages led to cost-saving measures, resulting in similar station designs with shared features: cypress wood structures, Y-shaped columns, rammed earth walls, ox-eye windows, and gable roofs. Originally named Zhonggang Station during the Japanese colonial period, Zhunan Station was the oldest railway station in Miaoli. In 1920, with the coastal and mountain lines gaining importance, it was renamed Zhunan Station and became the branching point between the two lines, earning the nickname Taiwan Rail's Shanghai Pass. It was classified as a first-class station. Since the completion of the coastal line, some sections have remained single-track, with only one train passing per hour. 5 stations along this line, Tanwen, Dashan, Xinpu, Rinan, and Zhuifen, were all opened in 1922. Due to low passenger and freight volumes, these stations were never rebuilt and remain the only surviving cypress-constructed stations from the Japanese colonial period. Known as the 5 treasures of the coastal line, they have been designated historical heritage sites in Miaoli and Taichung. Tanwen Station, the first on the coastal line, mainly transported firewood and rice outward, and building materials inward. Freight services ceased in 1983, and the station was downgraded from a third-class station to a simple station, later becoming a half station, which it remains today. Taiwan Railways transformed the platform bridge at Tanwen Station into the Love Lock Bridge, allowing visitors to secure locks symbolizing love, friendship, or family bonds. This gesture represents their enduring relationships and hopes for dreams to come true. The bridge features 16 artistic paintings, creating an art corridor that has drawn couples to linger, attach their locks, and admire the artwork. Dashan Station, named after the local area Dashanjio during the Japanese colonial period, was once a major freight station on the coastal line. Local goods, including watermelons, sweet potatoes, rice, fertilizers, and coal, were transported in and out through this station. The station has survived multiple earthquakes but was severely impacted when a speeding drunk driver collided with it, destroying half of the wooden hall and waiting room. As a result, passengers can now only enter and exit the station using electronic ticket cards. Xinpu Station was a new addition when the coastal line opened and has since been reduced to a simple station. It is the western trunk line station closest to the coast, with a notably elevated foundation, allowing passengers to enjoy sea views from the waiting room. A short walk leads to the Xinpu seawall, a perfect spot to watch the sunset over the Taiwan Strait. Rinan Station is one of the most distinctive stations on the coastal line, with freight primarily consisting of gravel and sand from the Don River. Passenger volume is low. The section from Rinan to Dajia operates on a single track, while dual single-track operation begins north of Rinan, making it a frequent location for trains to meet and pass. The name Zhuifen comes from the Japanese term meaning branching path. Early on, the western trunk line split at Zhuifen Station, with one branch continuing along the coastal line to Zhonghua and another going through the Qingjue line to Changong Station on the mountain line, forming a triangular junction. In 1920, the Qingjue line between Zhuifen and Changong was completed to ease travel for Taichung residents. After the coastal line was completed in 1922, most trains used this faster route, with only local trains operating on the mountain line. Traveling from Zhuifen Station to Changong Station symbolizes the pursuit of success, a concept captured in the phrase Zhuifen to Changong, which resonates with achieving goals or passing exams. This idea has attracted many people to Zhuifen Station to buy tickets as good luck charms. The station's trees are also adorned with wish cards, where visitors leave their hopes and aspirations. The Zhonghua Roundhouse, completed in 1922, was built to support the coastal line. When the coastal line began operation, Zhonghua Station, located at the junction of the mountain and coastal lines, became a key center for train maintenance and dispatch. Taiwan originally had 6 steam train roundhouses in Taipei, Hsinchu, Zhonghua, Jiayi, Kaohsiung, and Kaohsiung Port, but these were gradually dismantled to accommodate railway electrification and undergrounding projects. The Zhonghua Roundhouse is the last remaining operational roundhouse in Taiwan. In 1923, a year after the coastal line began operation, Crown Prince Hirohito visited Taiwan for 12 days aboard the battleship Congo. The Governor-General's office in Taiwan went to great lengths to host him warmly. Hirohito disembarked at Keelung Port and was enthusiastically welcomed wherever he traveled. His primary mode of transportation was by rail as he journeyed southward through Taipei, Taoyuan, Hsinchu, Taichung, Tainan, Kaohsiung, and Pingtung. After completing his tour by train, he departed from Kaohsiung Port to inspect Penghu, then returned to Keelung by ship before boarding the Congo to sail back to Japan. The Emperor's Saloon Car, known during the Japanese colonial period as the Imperial Train, was completed in 1912. It was originally built for Crown Prince Yoshihito's planned visit to Taiwan. However, due to Yoshihito's ascension to the throne in 1912, the visit was cancelled, and the car was later designated for use by the Japanese imperial family and visiting dignitaries. When Crown Prince Hirohito visited Taiwan in 1923, he traveled in this car. The Emperor's Saloon Car underwent several modifications, eventually being painted dark blue with the Taiwan Railway emblem and car number, along with a white stripe added below the windows. Among Taiwan's saloon cars, the Emperor's Saloon Car is noted for its luxurious interior. Made entirely of cypress and teak, its body, furnishings, and partitions were crafted by hand, featuring many unique design elements. These include ceiling ventilators, triple-layered sunshade glass windows, window screens, curtains, stained glass transom windows, chrysanthemum emblem pillows, sofas, butterfly-shaped mirrors, a rare two-blade wooden ceiling fan, and the only surviving Thai character motif window. The walls of the main room are adorned with seasonal floral carvings by renowned artist Kawabata Gyokushu. The dining room features inlaid panels with phoenix and butterfly woman flying motif, and the wainscoting around the room is decorated with floral designs representing Anaphylis Nagasa y Hayata and Gentiana scabrita Hayata. On April 21, 1935, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck the area between Hsinchu and Taichung, with its epicenter located near Guandaoshan in the Don River area on the mountain line. Known as the Guandaoshan Earthquake, it caused over 3,000 deaths and injured more than 10,000 people, making it one of Taiwan's deadliest natural disasters. The earthquake severely damaged and cut off the original mountain line railway, and the Yutangbing Bridge collapsed. Although the coastal line was also affected, service was restored the following day, keeping north-south travel intact. Thanks to the rapid restoration of the coastal line, north-south travel was uninterrupted. The coastal line played a crucial role, allowing the mountain line to reopen within just 3 years following its initial suspension. Since most north-south train travel had already shifted to the coastal line, railway revenue remained unaffected by the mountain line's disruption. Following the opening of the Western Trunk Line in 1908, Japan's key railway projects in Taiwan included 1909, establishment of Hualien Railway Office. 1909, Sugar Railways begin passenger services. 1914, Alishan Forest Railway extends to Zhuifen. 1917, completion of dual tracks between Keelung and Taipei. 1919, completion of the Taitung Sugar Railway. 1921, completion of the Jiji Branch Line. 1922, completion of the coastal line of the Western Trunk Line. 1923, Crown Prince Hirohito's visit to Taiwan. 1923, completion of the Fengliao Line. 1924, completion of the Ilan Line. 1926, completion of the Taitung Line. 1929, start of operations on the Pingxi Branch Line. 1930, roads begin competing with railways. 1935, Guandaoshan Earthquake affecting Hsinchu and Taichung. 1938, post-earthquake repairs on the mountain line completed. The coastal line effectively resolved the issue of freight delays on the mountain line, proving its value particularly after the severe 1935 earthquake. The old mountain line suffered extensive damage and required 3 years for full repairs, while the coastal line was restored the day after the earthquake, allowing uninterrupted service on the Western Trunk Line. Thus, the coastal line held significant importance for transport continuity on the Western Trunk Line at that time. To this day, in terms of tourism value, the natural scenery along the coastal line is delightful, and the century-old wooden stations still retain their simple charm, making them well worth a visit for locals to appreciate firsthand.